Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna have a little fun here. We're gonna have a little story time, as we said in previous. Wow, that was weird. It totally cut out. Chris and I went to college together. We're gonna call it again, and during our time in college, honestly, I think I might have gone to a handful of classes.
Yeah, I
at the
did
very
too.
most.
I definitely went to a handful.
A handful, like through the 2 years that we went to school together.
I've heard the story.
I had every intention of going to all the classes.
I totally did, especially at the
Yeah.
beginning of the semester. I really had a lot of big intentions.
I had A's at the beginning of the semester.
Yeah, I did too.
Can I say one thing?
Huh.
Now is what started our thing, is because you two were together.
Yeah. Actually, Steve and I started doing the podcast in the beginning because and I had told him stories about us going and
That's
around in Colombia or
Merced
Sonora.
JC.
I think
Merced JC.
No, we're gonna call it Merced, right? That's right. For copyright reasons.
Remember,
And you know what? I love it. I love it.
brewing coffee in Colombia.
Right, in Colombia. Yeah.
Colombia.
You guys dishing classes, go and watch the movies.
Allegedly.
So what I thought we
That
would
is
talk
awesome.
about
Did we watch
was...
movies? I know where you're going. I bet you.
Yeah, I know you know
you're
exactly where I'm
going.
going.
I think I figured it out.
So this was about the time he and I went to school together. It was like 96 through like 98, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
right around that time.
Yep.
Which was right about the time that OJ cut his wife's head off.
I know it. Allegedly.
Bronco. That was the
Allegedly.
Bronco. That was the Bronco, right?
Wait a minute. I thought he didn't do that.
No, I mean
Yeah,
when somebody cut OJ's wife's head
Right.
off and
Right.
he got the blame.
12 jurors said he didn't do it.
Right. So I thought we tell a little story about the day that
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. That was a fun day. So actually, even going back farther than that, I was on a youth program called the Explorers, which was part of the sheriff's department here in the county, and I had a award that they were going to give me, and I had the actual sheriff of the county.
Be careful what you say, though.
Yeah, I got you. It was an award they were going to give me, and the sheriff of the county and a bunch of the other employees were there, and they came over to our house for this big party, and the whole thing was ruined because that was when OJ and Al Collins were
did their low speed chase.
Yeah.
Gotta
So
love that Bronco.
I remember, the Bronco. I remember there was a basketball game on. I want to say it was a Lakers.
Rockets and Knicks in the NBA
Is that what it
Finals.
was? Okay, yeah, you're right. So that was playing on TV, and they were just about ready to give me this big award and all this other stuff. And we just finished a barbecue, and I was feeling pretty important. And then all of a sudden,
Feeling super important.
all of a sudden, that son of a OJ came on. And,
That stole your show.
right, exactly.
Took all your
He
thunder.
stole it, and for the next.
First he cut his wife's head off, and then he
Right.
stole your thunder.
And then I'm thinking, God, drive a little faster. Like this is my party. You're ruining my party. I mean, I'm sorry about your wife and her boyfriend, but Jesus,
Please get this show on the road, though.
seriously. And I'm thinking he's gonna go home. That's a long ass drive. He's gonna go all the way home.
Through LA traffic, get the fuck.
Yeah. So people started yawning and nodding off. So they handed me my award and left. So it's pretty.
Everybody was done.
My OJ
Hey,
award.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason, he's got a good voice. I think he should be a partner of this.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, so it was
Right on.
so that was pretty crazy. So anyways, that must have been like Saturday.
Right.
So then Monday, when we were planning on going to class, oh, I just pulled something there.
No, you're right.
You're fine.
I lost one of my ears.
You're fine. I did too.
There we go. So that Monday, I think it was. My dad was a car dealer at the time, and he had. I borrowed a White Bronco.
How old were you?
Oh, 6,
God.
I think. No, I was. That was
6.
We were in college, so I was. I don't know,
Say you
18,
borrowed.
19,
You
19 at least. Yeah.
ish.
Yeah,
At
you
the most.
borrowed.
So no, he let me drive it. So we
So how old
actually.
were you?
we actually no, I was
18,
yeah, I was
19?
18, 19.
18,
I think.
19.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we drove in. We drove it, and I remember in this Bronco with the flashers on,
With the hazards
with
all the way up.
with the hazards on,
Going like 45 the whole
Right.
fucking way up.
right. Jason was in the back,
That's
and
so
I remember,
With our black beanies and
Yeah, we did have
a
black
single
beanies.
glove.
and I can remember cars like people so angry that we were.
Angry.
Yeah, that they were swerving at us.
I
and
remember the
everything else.
dude in particular, the guy super pissed off
is
that
really
passed us on the Stephen-O Bridge
Yes.
in between here.
Damn, that's
And
so crazy.
he's-
You remember that?
He's
yeah.
got it. He's flipping us off out the window,
Yep.
screaming. I don't know, who knows what, and like to
Yeah.
the point where he looks like he's going to stroke out,
Right.
like yelling at us.
Hey, you know, Jason, you know what's
Right.
really cool is you understand, and I've shown you my friends like this.
So-
But dude,
Showing you.
this is your boy,
Yeah.
and that's
we go back
awesome.
a long ways.
Yeah, we
a
do.
long ways.
No, I've heard stories.
So,
So
anyway,
it got worse
as we go. Yeah.
go
But
ahead.
I wanna
I'll,
say
I'll
something.
pass
I
this
wanna
one over
say
to you,
something.
but it got worse.
Well, and I remember too, we
love
had
this. This is awesome.
Juicy Fruit Gum because at the time their
Right.
big slogan was "The juice is loose."
Juice is
because
loose,
we
yeah.
were on the juice is loose kick.
Hold on. What the fuck is the juice
And-
is loose?
The juice
What
is
does that
loose.
mean?
That's what
What does
they.
that mean?
OJ,
That was
he was
OJ.
about to be set free.
Right.
Yeah, and we were drinking orange juice because
Okay, so you know
OJ.
what? I said this was probably Monday, but this wasn't Monday. This was the day of the verdict was going to be read.
yes,
remember?
that's the day I'm
Yes,
talking
yes.
about. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
and we
I,
knew that.
I was mad.
Not that we had any intentions at all of actually going to class.
we actually
just
went
wanted
to
go.
school that day too.
We went
because
to
they were
school,
showing the verdict.
but we
Yes.
went into the
Hold
library.
on. So let me get this right. So where was the juice getting loose? So am I drunk now, or where are we going at here?
Oh, he's not
So
loose
this was
anymore.
on the OJ verdict day,
This was the day.
the big day
Okay.
that they're making the big announcement.
So, okay,
Right.
Okay.
We get to school and it's a really small school.
So small
Especially at
school-
that time, we're
small
talking
school as
25
far
years
as,
ago.
like
Right. Holy shit.
jurisdiction
No, it's crazy
or
to think about
verdict.
But-
Because it's different.
So the library was kind of the hub
Mm-hmm.
of the campus. Like that was where the library they had the library and the administration center was there. Like that was kind of like the
Right.
the center
Yeah, but I'm talking
of
about
the
you
school.
guys as a
So
group.
they had a
What the fuck is
TV
going
set
on?
up just outside the library. And on this TV they had the Tom Brokaw was doing. I'll never forget it
I'm
because
Tom
Tom Brokaw
Brokaw.
was doing the
Welcome to the
broadcast.
NBC Nightly News. I'm Tom Brokaw.
OJ Simpson.
He had no ends. He couldn't pronounce the ends. It was welcome to the NBC Nightly News. I'm Tom Brokaw.
Actually pretty good.
OJ Simpson.
So
Guilty
Chris
or
and
no?
I-
Dude,
Guilty
he's got
or
the-
no?
He's got the tone. He's got the tone. He's got the tone.
So Chris and
That
I
was
are
like-
sitting all the way up. We got there super early. We're
We
one
thought
of
he
the
was going
first
to be guilty.
ones.
Well, he was guilty, but we thought he was
knew
going to be
he was
found
gonna
guilty.
be Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
stop? Can
We're
stop?
We had-
literally in the front row.
We had OJ.
We had
So
no
funny.
idea back behind us.
We had
The whole area had been filled up. There's f***ing people. There was probably
standing room only.
seriously. There was probably 100 students in that little.
We were the only ones that had cartons of orange juice, by the way.
Yes,
I like
we're
this
up there
tone.
acting
I
like
like this
fucking
tone.
idiots. We're bouncing things back and forth
Go,
between the two of
OJ.
us, doing that.
Go, OJ.
Okay, so yeah, the go OJ. So they announced the verdict, right?
What
and
now?
Tom
Was it
Brokaw
like,
says,
you know,
and
like
a
Southside
look
or-
of relief on the face of OJ Simpson. And Chris says, yeah, he'll never do that shit again.
Right.
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 And I look back behind me, nobody's laughing. Nobody's good. It's
I feel like
they were very angry at the things that we were talking about up at the
Yes.
front of this room.
Yeah, so then the orange juice containers that we had weren't so
just
funny
made
anymore.
the-
And then this guy, he says, hey, can I get a whoa OJ?
I didn't
To zero response
I didn't
from
get a whoa
the
OJ.
now angry crowd back behind us.
Yeah, no.
I thought
OJ.
we were going to start a fucking riot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I
There could have
love
been
you
a
guys.
Columbia
That's
College
why I love you
riot
guys. No, that's why I love you guys.
sparked by
No,
This
us
guy.
being fucking idiots.
They
This
would've-
guy in particular saying, "Hey, can I get a whoa OJ?"
Yeah, so that was a pretty crazy day. So then we thought, well, we might as well, since we're here at college, we might as well eat lunch, and so we ate lunch, and I think we left.
No, I've heard about
ate
you
and
guys
left.
going to movies.
Did we go? to
Yeah,
the
we
movies?
went to the
Watching
movies a few
movies.
times.
I don't remember the movies. I do remember. This is a strange memory because when you were talking about the Stephen O. Bridge, I did remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Another funny thing I remember being over there in Sonora is they had a Denny's there. Do you remember what we used to?
I remember the Denny's.
Okay, so we used to eat at Denny's all the time over there. But one of the only reason we ate there was because Denny's had those holographic baseball cards.
Yeah.
And so you bought. I think you bought a Grand Slam and you got
It was
one.
You
like
gotta-
Mother's Cookies.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
Mother's Cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
So
remember
we were
that.
both. We
Was
were
it
both.
not?
Yes, it was just exactly like that, like the
Right.
Mother's cookies, except for it didn't
Right.
come pressed into the meal. They actually.
Yeah, they actually
yeah.
just gave it to you. On the
Yeah,
side.
it was kind of more.
That
It was more like
was
Burger
pretty
King,
funny.
where they gave you a toy. Like you got the Grand Slam and they gave you a toy.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That comes
Yeah.
in the meal.
So we were both big Mark McGuire fans,
Mm-hmm.
and so we would sit there. And
Of
I remember I had a ton of them. I had a bunch of Cal Ripkens, and then not too many McGuires.
Cal
but
Ripken seemed to be like the most
That was the
popular.
big
I
one.
think I actually still have.
Yeah.
But what would you go and get when you go and get there, knowing that you're gonna get a card?
God, I don't even remember what I would go.
What
get.
would
It was the
Yeah.
Grand Slam. We had to get. It was that's the only thing you got.
Oh, and you got the card.
Yes.
You got the
Yeah,
Grand
you
Slam.
get
because they were
Grand
called
Slam.
Grand Slam.
No,
They're
there-
Denny's
so you
Grand
had a Grand
Slams.
Slam.
Yep, you had to buy
Yeah,
a
see,
Grand
I
Slam.
don't even remember.
I don't
It
even
was
know
like
what the
the
Grand
Mother's
Slam
Cookies.
was.
Yeah, I
but
couldn't tell you what a Grand Slam consists
Well, it was
of.
like the Mother's Cookies.
baseball card. That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. It consisted of a baseball card that could.
Right?
Yeah.
Same thing. You had to get the Mother's Cookies with the same cookies.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's what I was asking.
And they don't even have baseball card shops anymore. Like, that's
Oh, every once in a while you can find one. There's actually one in Elk Grove. Yeah, but it's kind of got taken over by Magic cards.
Remember
and
the
shit.
one
Magic
in
card.
downtown Sonora
Yeah.
that they had the hats, and
Yep.
the old lady that worked in there that loved Mitch.
Yes.
Like every time we'd go in there, she would like drop the fucking counter over Mitch.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
We got some.
She liked
Always
Mitch a
the
lot.
worst.
We got a couple cool things in there. Right?
Oh man.
Yeah, those were the days when you could go in and buy packs of baseball
Yeah, you
cards
guys
and
should go
shit.
buy. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a place in Elk Grove that me and my daughter go into and grab baseball
Really?
cards every
Oh,
once
no
in a
kidding.
while.
You
Packs.
have children?
Yeah, I got two. I got
You have children?
a 16-year-old boy
It's
going on
crazy.
25.
16.
My son's 12 today.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome! Congratulations,
So,
yeah. And I got a 13-year-old daughter too. She's they're both
insane.
So you have children.
yes, I do have children. Yep, they're
Amazing.
they're fun. They're a handful.
Mm.
No,
They're
I've
blast
heard
up.
a lot about you.
They're little grown-ups now.
They are little grown-ups.
No,
Yeah.
you're a
That's
cool.
great. I saw your kids the GoFundMe account that he put on.
Oh my God! What an
For new
idiot.
parents. Oh
Yeah,
my god!
yeah,
like
that-
that is such the Chris post. Like, I was like,
know.
oh my god!
I can't even
that's
get
so Chris's
can't
son.
even get mad at him. He said that his phone was. He got in trouble. He was talking shit
Under
to his
false
mom.
pretenses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
took his phone under false pretenses. Yeah. And he was asking for. I don't know if you looked at the people that shared it, but Paul Bonatello, one of the former UFC fighters, actually shared it.
That's so.
And I thought, this kid's gonna make like money.
Yeah, this is gonna go viral, and I
Right.
think he's looking
He's
for.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually pretty fun.
Paul Bonatello is a good friend of mine. He's
Oh,
he's a
man.
funny dude. So he ended up sharing that, and yeah. So that
Did
was
he ever
nice.
make any money off
No,
of it?
I luckily I screenshotted what he wrote because he ended up deleting
He
it
deleted
yesterday.
it.
I think. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, no, that was
He-
good stuff.
it was
It's so you.
it
though.
was pretty
Like,
funny.
so- yeah, your humor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jason, what do we got going on?
I don't know. We're telling stories and things.
Yeah. Well, let's incorporate. Let's
Yeah.
incorporate.
So, anyway,
Time to
that
go.
was our little story.
Yeah. That was.
I
fun.
just wanted to tell our OJ story. Pretty
I'm
much.
glad we did.
Pretty much all I wanted to do is just tell our OJ story.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of things going on this week, and so, I was just saying, like, let's go
Who's
on.
fighting tomorrow in MMA?
I can't
Is it
remember. You
anybody
know what?
that
I haven't
anybody
even
gives a
I
shit
haven't even
about?
looked too much about it. But yeah, there's some good fights. I can't remember right offhand because I'm not going to be here, so I didn't want to get all excited about it. But
And with what you're doing, like, I have total respect for what you're doing.
it's
That's
fun.
amazing.
It's fun sometimes.
No, giving young dudes chance to where they would never have an opportunity or a chance to get where they're at?
Yeah, that's kind of fun. There's been a couple guys that have come and asked me for their first fights, and actually, there's a kind of funny one. One kid was I was at a wedding one time, and this guy was basically just talking shit, saying, "Oh, I could beat this guy, and I could beat that." I remember him saying, I weigh 275. That's what Brock Lesnar weighs, and he wasn't in the shape of Brock Lesnar, obviously, but
But he weighed 275.
right, he did. So everybody's I was kind of standing there. He's like, "Oh, I could fight and this and that," and so everybody's kind of looking at me, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll put you in a fight." So I told him, "Hey, he took me aside and said, yeah, I'll do it." And I said, everybody's been drinking. So I'll tell you what. Here's my number. Give me a call tomorrow if you want to fight.
Yeah,
call me tomorrow when we're sober. There's no
sober
friends
up,
around. I said I'm not going to talk to you or whatever. I'm not going to tell anybody.
Absolutely.
So I said, call me by noon though. So he said, all right. So noon comes and he calls me. So he ends up he ends up training. Comes in. He loses about 30 pounds. He looks great, and comes in and his opponent doesn't fuck up. So he didn't get to fight. Had all his
and that's a weight class that you can't exactly replace.
Right. Yeah, and this one actually, I think he dropped out the day of. You get a lot of that shit. So we ended up bringing him back for a fight up in Oroville.
Oh,
and
sad.
yeah, that was about 6-8 months later. So he gained his 30 pounds back, and he came back in, and it was a fun fight. Fun fight to watch, but he ended up losing the fight. But
Well, I give you a lot of respect though, too.
Thank you.
That, you know where to alter, young dudes, and know where to
I think that's good.
That sounds.
position young men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot of respect for you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
No, I'm serious, and
Thank you.
know what you're doing.
I pretend I know what I'm doing. Sometimes if you don't know what you're doing,
Sometimes
you
that's
just
actually
pretend.
more important.
Yeah, and sometimes you look like you know what you're doing if you.
I know most of your fighters. Like, I'm best friends with them.
Yep.
And so when I find out that you're incorporated with them,
Yeah.
I know they're in good hands.
Yeah. I always treat them good. I think I have a pretty good reputation of being a stand-up dude when it comes to.
I would imagine that word gets around pretty quickly too.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot of shady out there that don't care about their fighters, but
just trying to take advantage and make some money and.
Yeah, and I never got in it for money. Obviously, I did small shows and stuff, so I wasn't doing pay-per-views and UFC fights and stuff like that. So. I was on vacation from my regular career. I was on vacation from my regular career, so I was just there having fun, and if a fight wasn't going to go, I wasn't going to throw somebody in there that up against somebody just to make a fight.
And that's where I see you coming from, as a fighter. That something happened. Did you ever fight?
Mm-mm.
You
No.
never fought. So
Never.
what got you involved in?
So I worked at the Jackson Casino actually years and years ago when I first graduated high school, and one of the tribal cops there was the one of the founders of the
tribal.
IFC.
So are you Indian?
No, I'm not. No, just the they were
Just happened to work there.
yeah, I just happened to work there. So he was one of the tribal cops there. Actually, was one of the original founders of the IFC. So 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 they actually had the first couple in Jackson and Ione, and actually Nick Diaz fought in Ione. Actually, no, I'm sorry, Gilbert Melendez fought in Ione, and then Nick Diaz fought in Oroville. His very first fight was in Oroville.
No kidding. Wow.
Actually,
They have a pretty big
yeah, it was in
casino there.
Oroville. It's not huge. It's pretty nice. They've got like a little event center, like a stadium.
So was it at that time, at that point, where you're like, "Hey, I need to take this"? And
No,
take
it wasn't then.
rounds,
It wasn't
or...
then. I ended up working for the casino for a few years, then leaving.
Because you're already there, employed, right? So
Yeah, so I went to work somewhere else, and I was working there for 10 years, 12 years probably,
Good
and
for
then I got
you. Good
then I
for
got
you.
reacquainted with
Good for you.
that guy
Just
that was
happened
one of the
to.
founders. Yeah, we got
Good for you.
reacquainted. So he said, "Hey, I got a fight going on this week. You want to come?" And I said, "Yeah." So we went and hung out and
So
went to the
that's
fight.
when things came.
Yeah, so then I went to that fight, and then he asked if I wanted to go
Right
to a
on.
fight with him in Minnesota or Michigan. So, or wait,
Wow.
was it Michigan? Yeah, it was Michigan. So we
That's
drove all the way to Michigan
That's
for
cool.
this fight. We drove the cage out there,
Good
set it
Lord.
up. It was a
Wow,
blast.
no kidding. You set the cage up.
Yeah,
and
we,
that's
we,
awesome.
we drove the cage all the way out there.
That's
Me and the
really
boss,
cool.
me and the boss, and another guy, and we
So
drove,
you're
drove
part
it
of
all the
this
way up there.
new Armstrong, in this new thing, a new form of attention, fun,
Yep.
adult.
Adult entertainment.
I don't know. Yeah, thank you. It's
Yeah.
like pretty much adult entertainment. Like
Yeah. So I did a few of
we
those.
do it, Jason. I up and you fucking up too.
We did a few of those. We went to Texas and did a fight there, and then he actually asked me, you've been around for a while. You want to start doing
That's
some
really
matchmaking? So I
cool.
did start doing
That's
that.
really
So,
cool.
I like that.
yeah, it was a fun time. A lot of work, but a lot of.
I would imagine there's
frustrating
a lot of work.
Yeah,
As
it's
far as
frustrating.
being able to keep track of everybody and keep them.
Yeah, I'm pretty well organized, so it worked good for me. But I'd have to. It takes a good
Well, it's clanging
2-3
and banging.
months. It
It's
takes
clanging and banging.
yeah, it takes a good
You know?
2-3 months to plan a
Clanging and
fight,
banging.
and then you get people dropping out, and you got
I
to find
love it.
somebody that's
To
adequate
replace.
for somebody to replace. So you got to you
Well,
can't.
it's exercise.
Yeah, and it's not just about weights and,
It's not about
record.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about hurting you or anything. It's
So you
about
got to get the right
cut
matchup.
cut your weight down. Let's do your sweating. Let's hang out.
Yeah,
Get the styles together, right?
yeah.
Make sure
Styles
the
are big.
match up.
Styles are big, and where you put them on the card, and nobody wants to see 10 fights. They're all wrestlers or jiu-jitsu guys, but they do
Absolutely.
want to see a few of those. They want to see some banging fights where people are duking it out and somebody gets
But
knocked
those
out.
are
So
those people that don't get that want that.
yeah,
Is that like the new
You know what I
thing,
mean?
or
That's
like the hot thing is
That's the
to
training.
have a stand-up fighter?
No.
Like, is that pretty much what
That's
the
what
crowd
we
wants?
want.
now
That's
they
what
want
we
to. Most of the time, they want to mix. I mean, if they're true mixed martial arts fans, they want to see some fights that are wrestlers and they grapplers and that end in submission, and then they want to see some that are a boxer versus a wrestler or whatever.
That's what's hard with doing what you're doing though with your weight class is who you can situate someone that is going to be actual fight rather than being just a.
True.
Yeah.
Well, and I would imagine, I mean,
the
the crowd that you guys have, I would imagine they're pretty hardcore fight fans.
Most of them
I know
are.
that.
Yeah. Most of them are. Yeah.
It's extensive.
Yeah. So you gotta entertain them because it's not just a.
Yeah, you know what they're looking at.
And you want them to come back the next time too. So we were doing shows, every 3 months and every 3 months in some casinos. So
Mm.
I'm gonna put a high five out. This motherfucker held it, dude.
so
Straight up.
yeah. So you'd want them to come back. So you want to make sure you got at least 10 fights, and you got to make sure that they're not all over in the first round. I've had a couple of those nights where I think
Your event's over in 45 minutes.
oh
Well,
man,
hold on though, but you want people to show up.
yeah, you want
And
people to
so
show up next
how
time is the
are
big thing.
Took you longer to
as
set up the
able
ring than it.
Yeah,
That's
just
what
for
I'm
the.
saying. Like, fucking
Though I can
nailed it.
remember one. I remember one event that I put on was in Vegas, and it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare from the second I said go. And basically, we woke up the day of the weigh-ins, and I think we had like 2 fights. So we ended up throwing a bunch
That's
of
what
other
I'm talking
fights,
about.
and it was athletic commission. So we had they worked with us, and anyways, long story short, I think we had like 8 fights.
118? We 119?
The what?
119? Wisco?
Yeah, I don't remember.
He's not, I don't remember.
So we had, I think we had 8 or 9 fights, and they were all over the first round. They were pretty quick
It
fights.
was
So.
118 to 129.
So what do you do in that kind of thing? Like, do you just stretch out the time in between
Yeah.
the matches to
So
try to
yeah,
keep people in the building a little longer?
this
Like,
was
what?
this was one of the Rogue Warrior fights. So it was there's a lot of military stuff going on, and they've got military honor guards there. They've got they got some big name military guys. Dick Marcinko is the face of the company. He was the founder of SEAL Team 6. He's a pretty badass dude. So he was there. All the military guys love him. He's a really nice dude. But he's just he would get in there and talk, and he gave some awards out and stuff, and we also did some donations and stuff like that for.
So you had some fill that you could.
Yeah. So, but yeah, when it really comes down to it, people don't go there to watch donations.
To watch people pass out awards, they want to see fights.
Yeah. So sometimes shit happens like that, and you know what? There was one time. I think the longest set of fights I ever had was at Feather Falls in Oroville, and I think I had 6 fights, and I was scared to death that they were going to be over so quick. And I think they were every one of them went the distance almost. It was a long ass. Yeah. That was probably one of the better ones. But
can I interrupt?
It's just a.
I'm gonna say something,
coin.
Dude. He clashes so good with our shit, and his words, his tone.
I don't know how like
dude legit
MMA like the WCW like or the big promotion like I don't know how they promote it because it's so you have no idea like you said if all your matches are going to be super quick if they're going to go the distance. I don't know how can you promote something like that.
It's really hard.
For money, Jason. No, that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is
no, that's what I was getting.
Dude, legit.
One of the biggest things is getting some local talent. So like in Oroville, we had Benito Lopez. You heard of him? He's actually a UFC fighter now.
Oh no.
He's born and raised in Oroville, and he was born and raised in Oroville and came out of I believe standalone mixed martial arts in Chico, and he was. Everybody wanted to. I mean, that kid could sell out the crowd in Oroville without a problem. So he would be there. He was always extremely fun to watch. He just lost his first fight. I think he was 11-0 or maybe 12-0. Just lost his first fight not too long ago. So that's important. You get some local guys on there that fill the seats, right. and if it goes in 30 seconds and the local boy wins,
everybody's happy anyway, so who
happy.
cares?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the big thing. So the main event, you want those kinds of fights from local guys.
Main event as far as what?
The very last fight, the biggest hyped fight, basically the 2 headliners. You want those guys. You want to try
put
to get
your
some
local boys
guys.
on.
Yeah, definitely.
So that they can close things out. And no, that makes sense. Yeah.
We got a new guy. We got a new guy.
All right, so we'll go ahead and end it there so we can actually listen to ourselves. Thank you guys for listening. That was Fight Talk with Chris and Jay. How about that?
That's fun.
That's what we're going to call it.
All right.